Welcome back, Demon Whisperers. I am Dela, the Demon Whisperer, and I am so glad to share with you night 7 of our Angels and Demons collective readings. Now, I did do something a little different today, as I told you I will, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But before I do, please allow me to invite you to hit the like button here, to hit the subscribe button here. I am so excited about all of our subscribers. We started out at 0 and now we have 12, and I am so excited because Jesus had 12 subscribers too, and they changed the world is what they want us to think. So I'm excited about every single one of you. If you could come in the comments, hit me up, let me know who you are. Join me over on Patreon, where we have our private community and we can get even deeper into the angels and demons stuff. Okay, I'm excited. So today, our reading is going to be very comprehensive. I just threw the cards, and I threw the cards and asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. I asked about the overall energy of the collective at the beginning of the day. I asked about the angels and the blessings that would come through those angels. I asked about the demons and the advice that we have for dealing with those demons. I also asked what your energy would be like, what our energy would be like at the very end of the day. And then I got a little selfish for us, and I asked, what is there another message that you have for the collective? Now, by you, I'm literally talking to our future self as a collective. Okay, is there any other messages you have for the collective? And I think the message that was brought out was absolutely beautiful. So we'll spend some time on that at the end, and then I'll invite you to Patreon again. Okay, so let's get started. I see 8:11 on the clock. I like that. So I see that the energy that you might meet at the beginning of the day might be one where there's a little despair or heartache, a little bit of obligation, a little bit of feeling trapped or constrained emotionally, not as free as you want to be. That might just be something as simple as trying to wake up on Saturday morning and your kids getting on your goddamn nerves. It might be a little bit of a hangover that you wish you didn't get tonight. You know, you might want to take one of those hangover pills before you go out in the morning or go out tonight. But I really do feel like it's a level of commitment that's going to bring you back down to earth. But also, some of us do meet that spirit of despair first thing in the morning. And I recommend that you tell that thing what it is that you want to feel today. I feel loved. I feel joyful. I feel powerful. I feel peaceful. If you'd like to get with me on working on preparing for tomorrow, tonight, please reach out to me on Patreon. I would love to take those steps with you because I had to do it. I had to meet things head on in the beginning at nighttime. Okay. There's certain practices that I have before I go to bed at night and when I wake up in the morning that actually, and while I'm asleep, that actually allow me to meet that despair head on. Okay. So don't be surprised if you feel it and it just slipped out my hand and fell on the floor. Don't be surprised if you encounter that feeling of obligation, commitment, despair, that why is there molding clay, modeling clay on my floor? Why can't I just wake up on a Saturday morning and nobody bug me? Or it might be something a little bit more deep, like you might have realized last night was a one night stand and you might have to deal with that. And that happens. We'll talk about that together too. Now, I also wanted to talk about the angels that we will encounter going into this night 7 cycle. As well, it's important for us to understand those blessings that are going to come through those angels so that you know what to bring. Now, here's one I love. Okay, that wish fulfilled, that happy family, love coming from all directions, north, south, east, and west, back, front, and side to side. Oh, I love it. Expected. And expected, especially if you've been loving yourself, because we've been talking a little bit about that this week. And it's not ironic that tonight is night 7. Okay, that'll come up again in a little bit. 7 is a number of completion, and so is 10. So a lot of what you've been working on inside yourself, that love, that honor, that respect, that self-concept is manifesting in your day tomorrow. And it's going to manifest in a sense of this 9 of fire. One of the cards of this 9 of fire, this 9 of clubs, is literally a man on the floor in a white dress. He's got 9 candles all around and he's asleep. And most of the work that he has to do happens while he's sleeping. But that card also always speaks to me as my father, who's passed on and is still watching over me and protecting me and communicating with me. So that ancestral protection. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, 9 is the number of ancestors in Ifa. So that ancestral protection is with you. I actually just dispatched a few of my Chicago ancestors a little bit ago to handle some of my lightweight. They've been waiting. But that ancestral energy is going to be with you tomorrow. That energy of effortlessness, like things that you've been working on in your sleep. You know, overcoming that despair in your sleep. Understanding how those things affect your daytime and your consciousness. Those things are going to come to fruition tomorrow. And you're going to see a manifestation of love that you didn't have to work for. Yeah, you are. Isn't that dope? And now, let's talk a little bit seriously about the things that we have to talk about as far as the demons, okay? And we know that demons are just energies that come to challenge us, to humble us, to strengthen our weak ego, to expose the areas where we need help, where we need work, and where we need to talk, okay? Now, we talk again, like we did yesterday, about this delusion, this wanting something without necessarily making the sacrifices to have it and having to come to terms with that. But what I see as the advice is literally a plan. A plan. So something comes to mind. You're waiting for him to tell you what you're going to do tomorrow. Visualize it yourself. Allow this power that you have to cast something out into the ocean and hope something big comes back. Allow this power that you have of being a little spoiled, where you can effortlessly manifest the love that you want. And allow yourself to have the moments where you daydream about what the time is going to look like. Instead of hoping, just daydream about it. You put the plan in place in your mind, in your heart. Put your hand on your heart and allow yourself to visualize what you want that time to look like. Okay, for whoever I'm speaking specifically to. The way that you're going to overcome this delusion and this wanting to cast something out and then waiting for things to come back and just hoping God fixes it, it's literally about putting your mind to work and planning the best things for you. Planning the most amazing moments, planning the manifestations that you expect to see, planning the gifts, planning the love, planning the excitement, planning the peace, planning the intimacy. You can do that. You know, you can do that. Now, here's the beautiful thing, because at the end of the day tomorrow, the energy you're going to feel is that power, that full anointing, that full empowerment, that nothing can stop you. Nothing can overtake you. Okay? You've allowed yourself to be honest about what it is that you desire. You've allowed yourself to overcome the delusion by simply visualizing it and planning it in your head. And now you walk in that power and you're able to have those things that you want effortlessly. That's awesome. I really do feel like, let me ask a question. In what area of our lives is this reading pertaining to? Would this be love? Would this be money? I do believe it's love, because all I see is love. But would this be love? Would this be money? Might this be anything else? A mental, illness or issue that's being worked out, some sort of addiction? What would you say oh, it's love, girl. It's love, honey. It's a reunion. It's that same reunion we talked about last night. That tinkling cymbals, that champagne, that laughter, that Pombagira energy. Okay, very good. Now let's take a look into this extra message that was given to us. Okay, now that we understand what our next cycle is going to look like, passing some tests, overcoming some bullshit, staying close to the love that we have for ourselves so that we can receive the love that we desire and manifest it effortlessly. So there's another message here. Very interesting. Starts with the 10 of fire, which talks about, or the 10 of clubs, talks about passing a test. And it ends with the 3 of clubs, which talks about receiving a very important message, a partnership in power, an alignment, an alliance, so to speak. And it's almost as though the test has been passed, so now the alliance can come together. Fuck what you heard. Now, I also do see a growing in love and a bringing to you of love. Those things that you've desired, those things that you've expected, that partnership that's going to elevate you and help you level up. And even you fighting those demons and those things that would keep you from it. Because nothing but death can keep you from it. You got it. You got it. I am so excited to do that for you today. Now, I do want to give you a very special invitation over to Patreon. I do have a Patreon by the same name. That is an amazing place where we can connect in our private community. And you can get a subscription and talk to me one-on-one on a monthly basis. And we can have these ongoing discussions where we talk about the things that are happening, the things that you want to overcome, the things that you really, really want to see yourself break free from. I'm happy to share my tools. I'm happy to share my resources. I don't gatekeep, okay? So join me over on Patreon where we can get it in. Well, I really, really, really want to have that private community with you, that private one-on-ones, the direct conversations where we can chat back and forth, our one-on-one sessions, either by video or by phone. Yeah, it's a great place for us to get together. So, well, that's me, Della the Demon Whisperer. It was my pleasure to give you this amazing reading tonight. Don't forget that the basis and the power that you have to operate in to get any of this done is self-love. Because before you can love anybody else, you've got to love yourself first. I'm sure you remember hearing her say, I will always love you, but I will never expect you to love me if you don't love yourselves. Let's heal the world, one beautiful action at a time. Lend your soul to intuition. Renaissance, new revolution. Pick me up even if I fall. Let love heal us all. That's all I got for you. And let me give you your official send-off. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Thanks for joining me, y'all. See you on the other side. I always like to see. I always like to wait a minute before I leave to see if anybody comes in because I am giving free readings, one question. So I did want to just see if anybody was interested in the reading. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. I do see that there's some folks here, so I wanted to go ahead and give you an opportunity before I shut this reading down. I got a few more minutes, and I can go ahead and take a question and give you a free reading. I'm more than happy to. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll give you a second. All right, I don't see any questions. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank everyone who came in to this reading, everyone who watches it, who watches the replay of this. If you do watch this replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay gang in the comments. I would also appreciate if you hashtag demon whisperer because that's what we are and that's what we do. I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.